Bitcoin hash rate rebounds after China's mining operations were shut down. Everyone was afraid. Henny penny, the sky is falling. China is banning all of Bitcoin mining. Whatever will happen? It turns out that the mining machines moved overseas where their owners, shock, plug them back in and they're mining Bitcoin again. Yes, the Bitcoin hash rate has rebounded to its original numbers. It's almost as if nothing happened after China banned Bitcoin. Martine Wishmayer, China banned Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is still being mined. How is this possible?
I think it's fantastic to see how resilient the network is to rogue state attacks, because it will not be shut down by anyone. This is a large country like China, where I believe a majority of all hash power was concentrated. It just took 1 or 2 months, and they're back again. So it will not stop. And the only way to stop Bitcoin if all countries in the world would decide at the same time that they agree on that Bitcoin has to be stopped. And this is looking to be very unlikely. And the longer it takes, the more unlikely it will be. So yes, it's good to see. We didn't need the extra hash power though. I think Bitcoin was strong enough, but if there's machines out there, it's better to use them, because if all those machines would have been bought by a single actor, then they would have been able to attack the Bitcoin network at a later stage. So if they're back online now, that's fantastic. And it just shows how strong the network is compared to most of the other.
Joshua Shigala.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the Bitcoin network's far too over. I mean, it's not too over secure, but it's really it can afford to lose half even. It just doesn't care. It'll just readjust the difficulty and get on with life. All these people that picked on it for China, banning the mining, they didn't understand the whole concept. Like, the whole thing is game theoretically already thought out. So none of this matters. It just comes back up. Of course, if you have a piece of hardware that goes and finds rare numbers, you're not going to just stick it on the shelf. You're going to sell it to someone that can plug it in. And I don't even agree, Martin, with you that even if every country shut it down, because people would just run one miner that they couldn't tell the difference between that miner and I mean, sure, maybe large scale mining could be stopped, but one person could run one machine, and then that's already enough. The difficulty would just swap down. It would make it more attackable by a state that could turn on large scale mining to destroy the network. But even then, I feel that the people running nodes would switch to a different consensus hash and just get on with life and just remove all of those ASICs out of the picture. So it's so resilient. It's unbelievable. I love it. I've loved it all these years. I love it every minute more.
Josh, I wasn't implying that would be something that could happen. I mean, one thing that is certain is that the world as a whole has never agreed on a single thing. The first thing we all agreed on was that Bitcoin actually has value. Yeah. And then having to agree on that we're going to shut Bitcoin down all of a sudden, all together, that's never ever going to happen. So,
you're right.
So you're that's right. Yeah, you're right. Also, that if any, I have a miner here, it's old, it's dusty, but if all the miners would stop, I would fire it up again, and that would be the lone miner that would do all the Bitcoin transactions. So, yeah.
Start.
Ben Ark, your thoughts on China and Bitcoin mining?
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of setting another precedent again that, if it happens that a country has, because it's near on close to 50% of the mining was in China, the hash rate, it was like 47% or something. And it just shows that if that happens, and then the worry was that, they could just switch mining on and off, and they could control the mining, but clearly it just all fires up again in some other country. It's incredibly resilient, and those miners aren't going to be sat around long. They're going to be relocated and then powered up. And even with the Chinese miners, when Chinese mining down, the hash rate down, Bitcoin's hash rate was still so incredibly high, and Bitcoin was so incredibly secure. I think it dropped to like the same level as at the beginning of 2019 or something. So it was only, dropped to a few years before hash rate wise. But yeah, it's great to see. It's just great to see Bitcoin working exactly as it's supposed to work and being resilient as resilient as it's supposed to be.
And they could have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you kids and your Bitcoin. Ben, I can see the fly swatter just like almost moving. It's got this like almost slap feeling.
I should say, actually, because we're not live, I suppose, don't do this one because it won't trigger anything on the screen. Do this one, do a little bit of gambling. And I promise I'll sit in front of my computer. And then when this video is like on YouTube, I'll keep this powered on. So occasionally I'll just get slapped in the face for no reason.
That's awful, man. And we're still kind of live. We're live on, I don't know, Twitter, and our one guy on Twitch. So there's like 2 people watching us, but they'll watch.
All right,
Audience of
Twitch
one.
boy.
Nice.
Hey, the reason why I
Action
did the shout out to Twitch, because this is perfect for Twitch. Try to spread it to all your Twitch mates.
Trendy new hipster
Yeah.
Twitch. I don't know how Twitch works. It's like Discord. It just confuses me. I'm too old.
All right, Gabriel Devine, your thoughts on the hash rate recovering after China banning?
Can you hear me okay before I continue?
Yeah.
Great. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Loud and
Zoom
clear.
is freaking out. Fantastic. Zoom is wigging out over here. Yeah, I actually wanted to circle back on Martijn's comment about all the companies, all the countries coming together and banning. I agree with Joshua. Not only would that not work, actually, I think that a worldwide ban on Bitcoin would just speed up its development. After an initial, maybe slight setback in sort of institutional involvement, I think that it would completely backfire and make everybody just wake up that much quicker to government's fraud in central banking. So even a worldwide ban could stop Bitcoin. There's nothing that can stop Bitcoin. Or other than like, on the meteor side / supernova. But
Gabriel,
I
are
think
you
the incentives-
saying that we've invented that Satoshi invented a perpetual motion machine? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely not. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying a robust technology protocol was created. That's all. Just anti-fragile and robust, not perpetual motion. We are continuously putting a lot of energy into it, as eco fake warriors like to point out. But good question. The incentives situation, that Joshua brought up, that's a really important thing to consider. I'm sure that Thomas and some of our watchers will remember interview I did 5 years ago with Vinay Gupta. And he threw a tantrum on the show, lost his composure, was yelling me down about China hosting the majority of the Bitcoin hash rate, and what a huge danger that was, not only because they could shut it down at any time and reduce the hash rate, but also because somehow the miners being in China would be a threat to the Bitcoin protocol. He just yelled at me instead of answering my calm questions about exactly how that could be achieved. And here we see both of those predictions turning out to be extremely false, as I knew at the time, and anybody thinking could know that at the time. Not only could China not exert any power through, I'm sure the CCP was involved in the Bitmain 2017 debacle, and I'm hoping that they lost a lot of money by betting on Bcash. But the other threat that a sudden decrease in the hash rate due to the banning of Bitcoin mining in the country could somehow hurt Bitcoin has also been proven false. So it's wonderful to see that, once again, as you pointed out, game theory at play. Bitcoin was created with these incentives, and I kind of want to point out that not only are there technical internal incentives for the Bitcoin protocol and systemic design itself. In this case, that's an obvious case, but also external incentives is one of the things that keeps us Bitcoiners inspired. you know, the effect of the Bitcoin protocol on everybody's lives, on society at large, on the economy. These are external higher orders of effect that Bitcoin has on the world. So not only is it well designed within, but also without.